over a decade, titanium caravans have been driven by one mission: to engineer caravans built to conquer some of Australia's harshest terrain while keeping you in complete comfort. Born from a passion for adventure and a commitment to our titanium family, every titanium caravan is designed to go further, endure longer, and turn every road into a story worth telling. That spirit of innovation and adventure has led us here to the next chapter in the titanium journey.
So here at Titanium Caravans, innovation is really important to us. We've always hired staff that actually go caravanning. So it's not just me having to come up with these ideas at work. And then most of the ideas actually come from going camping with the guys from work, sitting around the campfire, spitballing ideas. We started wool fabrication for that reason, so we can just get creative with the products. That's been awesome in the last 3-4 years, being able to come up with an idea, cut it, fold it, put it together, go out and test it, see if it works. Yeah, we just love caravanning. That's titanium. We're always looking for ways to challenge the status quo. We're here to introduce the WS1 and TS1, and it's going to push the titanium story even further.
Now we've got a very exciting new model in the range, the WS1. It's where we've looked at caravan innovation and thought, how can we make the internal living and sleeping options better, and come up with this very unique design where you can see the actual dynamics of the van, and the living space itself is square. So we've created a square environment which allows you to have far more layouts and options, I guess, when doing those internal designs. To give the van that shape and not have a square front boxy look, we've created that nose cone dynamic with the wool fabricated box on the front. So not only has that given it that look, that very sleek feel, but it's also given us far more storage options in that front section. And I guess then when you step internally into the van, the new innovation in the WS1 allows us to bring multiple floor plans to customers. As we said, having that higher squared front end of the van allows for a drastic change in what we can provide. So as we said, the one we've got here is showing you the front ensuite, but allows us to go the potential of having a kitchen in the front of the van. You could go potential living through the front of the van with a big wraparound couch. You can reverse the bunk layout, so you could look to have your kids' bunking area at the front of the van, living through the middle, and master quarters at the back. So the layouts now become endless, and it gives families or couples real flexibility in choosing what suits their dynamic. And I guess, you know, that's what we're about at Titanium. We're about looking at the landscape, seeing how things work, seeing how we can innovate them and bring them to fruition, and really challenge the boundaries of what people are seeing in conventional caravan layouts.
So the WS1 really reflects being back at home. You have actual big robes that are deep, you have massive overheads, but most importantly, you can sit up in bed and you don't feel like you're closed in a caravan anymore.
Let's talk about some of the new features you can see on the WS1, and the big one is the nose cone box on the front. So it's moved away from the gull wing door that you've seen on our premium boxes in our S range. These doors are now hinged to the left. That is because due to the cone, you've actually got another huge storage box on the front that opens up. If you're optioning for a front window in your van, this is great, because not only do you get that storage in front of the window, but when you open this up, you can still get that light into the front window, which is great, especially for our customers up in Brisbane and Queensland that are always around the sun. You've got the potential to house generators. You could have a kid sleep up there if you were really into that. So there's a lot of options now with that front end of the van. And you know, even if we've got customers that are interested in having their washing machines and those things not inside the van, well, we've created more space for that to go in the nose cone.
The other cool thing about having the squared off van at the front is you can bring your ensuite down to the front of the caravan. So our most popular floor plan, the big bathroom, the only negative people have about it is it's a front door and you walk into the bedroom. So now by having the ensuite down the front and the bedroom down the back, we now have a big, large ensuite caravan that you don't walk into your bedroom. So that's really cool.
We've also got our new external slide out, which houses a coffee machine, which comes out of our Wolf Premium Picnic table. This is a great addition for the coffee lovers that you know, are outside camping and want to have a coffee at hand all the time. We've been able to create this by going to that new BCS airbag suspension system that now doesn't require the air lines to be running up into the side of the van. So we're keeping all those air lines at chassis level. So we've removed the box that housed those lines before, and that's created more space to put a slide out there. So if a coffee machine's not for you, you could have a slide out air fryer on there, you could put an ice machine. I'm sure there are a couple of people that will try and find a miniature keg that can sit there. So the options are endless with that new slide out coming out the side. As I mentioned, we've now removed the BCS for your airbags, and we're housing that in its own little compartment just near the door. So again, very easy to access. The new BCS system's great. It's already on our vans, but having that screen in its own little area, as I said, has freed up so much storage, and it's a great addition for those that like their van to look cool.
One of the other cool features is that you walk through that front door on the big bathroom layout now, and you go straight to your fridge, so you don't have to walk through the entire van. So the WS1 actually started about 3 years ago, and I'd love to take credit for it, but it wasn't my idea. It was Nick's idea from product and one of the owners at Wolf. He wanted to build a square caravan purely just because of the layouts. He's run into troubles over the years of not being able to do the floor plans that he wants by having the caravan shape at the front. So we've been toying around with the idea of this ginormous toolbox for a while now, and we actually built 2 of them around a year ago, and we've been testing them in the background, trying to hide them from the public. And yeah, we're so excited to be able to show everyone these new products.
The benefits now of changing this van design means that you don't have to go with a conventional slide out kitchen at the front of the van. Depending on your layout now, we can move that around. So if you're going a rear bed like this WS1 option, you've now got your slide out kitchen at the back of the van. It's away from your door. It allows you to cook down the back. Some people don't like if they've got their doors open and getting fresh air in there. They don't like the smell of barbecues and those things running in. So being able to move your kitchen to the back is a huge added plus as well. The other great ability of having the front wall squared off is that we've increased that awning space. With that roof line being square all the way, that means that awning can run a lot further. So now all of your tunnel boots, you know, depending on which layout you go for, having those tunnel boots at the front or the back, they will all be covered underneath the awning. So that allows all cooking to be undercover, which is a huge advantage, and something that you can't offer in a van that has the angled front. Well, you can't offer that front tunnel boot being under protection. I could sit here for so long talking about all the new features of the WS1, and I guess that's the beauty of this new design, is the opportunities are going to be endless. It really is going to come down to the floor plans that you choose and the layouts you're going to have. So there's so many goodies in here, and I guess that's why we're so excited to bring it to market. So you know, as the consumers, you can get out there and have a play around and really tailor this thing to how your family wants to travel off-road. The other exciting van to bring to our range is the TS1, and as we know that families love spending so much time aboard traveling, and you know, we like to take some of our toys and hobbies, and they involve motorcycles and that type of stuff. So adding the TS1 to our range has been huge. You know, there's been a lot of work that's gone into the rear end of this van to make sure that, you know, you've got a nice quality gas strutted ramp there that is heavy duty, that can take the test of loading, you know, ATVs, four-wheelers, dirt bikes, whatever you choose, but also been really easy and user-friendly to operate.
The drive just came from families coming in, looking around the show, and you couldn't really get a high-end van with the toy hauler element of it. So we thought we'd have a crack at it. Having Wolf Fabrications made that a lot easier. And yeah, it's turned out much better than we thought it would, the first van.
Coming from the horse industry and seeing how much effort and how important a ramp is with horse floats and all that, you know, it's been really pleasing to see just how user-friendly this is for the individual. But then once you do step inside the back, still having those creature comforts that we come to expect when buying a titanium caravan, and that starts with the mechanism of in this case, the 4 individual bunk beds. It allows so much flexibility. You can, depending how many kids you're traveling with, you can raise the bottom bunks to fit more toys in the back. You can have all 4 bunks down if you've got a clan. If you're taking 1 or 2 kids, they can sleep on the top, and they still have all the things that they need in their bunks with charging points, power points, and all of that type of stuff. So it's a great little hideout for the back in the kids, which also acts as an amazing garage for towing your toys. When you take that step through from the garage into that ensuite, central ensuite in this case, and see the rest of the van, you get everything that you come to expect from titanium. Whether it's you're looking for an east-west bed, a king bed, straight lounge, L-shaped lounges, and a lot of living space. So it's been really pleasing to be able to bring something to market that's really got a strong functionality in terms of housing your toys, but as I said earlier, giving you those creature comforts that you expect when buying a titanium van. And we're not the first to invent some sort of toy hauler, but I will say we're definitely the ones that have brought out a toy hauler that's so highly spec'd from a living standpoint, but still able to carry all those dirty motorbikes that you want to throw in the garage.
So in the toy hauler, you're still going to have the same amazing titanium luxury interior. It's going to be on a truss chassis as standard, and we're running a lower truss to get the height down a bit and reduce that tear weight overall. So the ensuite on the toy hauler will be in the middle of the van, so you can access it from mum and dad's end or the kids' end, and you'll be able to get around 18 to 19 foot caravan after the toy hauler has been put in, depending on what size bed you go. You can go a king bed or a queen east-west bed.
What makes the TS1 stand out in the crowd is definitely our dual door system on the back end. So by making a dual door system, we can really have each door focus on what it needs to do. So first off, you've got the ramp on the outside, and it's really important that ramp is built sturdy. We wanted it to have a lot of ventilation in it, so you can hose it down because you are going to be driving dirty bikes up there. And it's really user friendly in terms of operation, and got some really strong gas struts on it. And as I mentioned, having that dual door, obviously we've then got the main door of the back of the garage, back of the TS1, which when open, obviously acts as a shelter, which is really important. But we've been able to build this section as a back wall of a van. So, in terms of ceiling and quality, that's all in that part, which is really important. So you've got 2 doors, but obviously, but are both pivotal in the design of this to ensure that one can operate from a loading and quality standpoint, and the other one from a shelter and ceiling of that garage. And as I mentioned, that's what probably separates our TS1 from the other players in the market, and is just another thing that you come to expect when buying a titanium. We're thinking about innovation, we're thinking about the best ways to bring things to fruition, and the way that they are user-friendly for our clientele, but obviously robust and can last the test of time.
So both these vans have been vigorously tested. The WS1 we've been testing for 9 months now. It's been up and down some really bad corrugated roads, lots of dust. We're really happy with how they performed. We've changed the floor plan a bit and made them a bit more versatile and easier to use, being such a big box, and we're very happy with how they've turned out. Both the WS1 and TS1 reflect titanium's commitment to quality, innovation, and listening to our community. Whether it's the full height living in the WS1 or being adventure ready in the TS1, these models are designed to make life on the road more enjoyable.